Ronald Reed spent 25 years fixing cars at a Vermont gas station, and another 17 sweeping floors as a JCPenney janitor. When he died in 2014, he left behind an $8 million fortune. Around the same time, a highly educated technology executive in Los Angeles walked down to the beach with a handful of $1,000 gold coins. Just for fun, he and his friends proceeded to skip them into the Pacific Ocean to see whose went the furthest. A few years later, the brilliant tech executive went entirely broke. The humble janitor, meanwhile, became one of the wealthiest philanthropists in his town. If wealth were a hard science based strictly on intelligence, the genius would never lose. This total reversal indicates a hidden factor is at play. Society treats money like physics, a world of strict laws, complex math, and spreadsheets. But money functions as a soft skill, governed almost entirely by human psychology, emotion, and nuance. Building true wealth requires moving past mathematical optimization to master a behavioral endurance system. The engine of this endurance system is a force we find difficult to grasp: compounding time. Warren Buffett proves this. Most of his net worth was generated after his 50th birthday, the result of investing consistently for 3/4 of a century. Our brains expect growth on a flat, linear path, but compounding accelerates along an exponential curve, barely moving for decades before shooting upward. Struggling to visualize this delayed explosion, we get impatient, chase riskier gains, and reset the curve. Accumulating wealth depends far more on securing uninterrupted time in the market than on achieving the highest possible returns. Securing that time requires one absolute prerequisite: you have to survive. Getting wealthy involves taking risks and being optimistic, but staying wealthy demands a different set of skills: paranoia, fear, and discipline. Even financial geniuses wipe out making high-probability bets that carry a tiny risk of absolute ruin. They are essentially playing financial Russian roulette. Aiming to be mostly reasonable and surviving for decades produces far better results than being coldly rational if that rationality leads to an eventual wipeout. So how do you guarantee survival in a world driven by bad luck, unforeseen crises, and hidden risks? You build a margin of safety. This is the physical gap between what you think will happen and what could actually happen. Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing, noted that a margin of safety is what renders precise forecasting unnecessary. A margin of safety functions as a mathematical requirement for enduring a game governed by infinite variables, proving far more vital than a simple conservative hedge. But generating a margin of safety in your daily life requires a psychological shift. Many people fall into the trap of wanting to look wealthy rather than actually being wealthy. The singer Rihanna famously sued her financial advisor after nearly going bankrupt from overspending. The advisor's defense was blunt: if you spend money on things, you will end up with the things and not the money. True wealth is what you don't see. It's the first-class upgrades declined, the sports cars not purchased, and the diamonds foregone. This reveals the core behavioral equation of the system. Savings is simply the gap between your income and your ego. Suppressing the innate human desire to show off provides the actual fuel required for generating financial security. When you string these behavioral traits together, they form a continuous engine for long-term survival. Suppressing your ego allows you to accumulate savings. Those savings aren't just for purchasing goods, they exist purely to create your margin of safety. That margin of safety guarantees survival, buying you the uninterrupted years required for compounding to generate its exponential results. Financial mastery lies in building a behavioral system that makes you unwipeoutable, a goal far more consequential than the intelligence required to pick the right stocks. This system shifts our ultimate goal. We are no longer chasing a specific dollar amount or a lifestyle of luxury goods. Money is simply a tool for acquiring the highest dividend that exists in finance: absolute control over your own time. The ultimate flex isn't wearing a shiny watch to impress strangers. It is waking up every single morning and having the power to say, I can do whatever I want today.